देखते हैं तो उनको बिल्कुल नजर नहीं आता. So now we are going to discuss about versatile nature of carbon. Why we are saying it's so important. We have already discussed that why scientists give it so much of the importance, but here also we will discuss that how it forms so many compounds. What is the reason? What are the 3 points that it makes so many number of compounds, and why it is so unbeatable that we have considered it in mole concept also. We have given so much of importance to it. Here also we will come to know. But before that, you should know, you will be surprised to know that if we count the number of carbon compounds whose formulae are known to the chemist, these are more than millions, estimated to be in millions, right? And this number is marginally equal to the large number of the compounds formed by all other elements. सबका इकट्ठा कर दें और एक तरफ कार्बन के कंपाउंड्स एक तरफ कर लें, both are almost equal. So it is surprising. 118 elements, other 117 elements are on one side compound forming, and the number of compounds formed by the carbon on other sides more than millions. That's why we give it more important. Now, why it is happening? Question arises, why it is happening? So the reason, some of the reasons are, number one, its nature is to make large number of the compounds. Carbon is unique ability to make the large number of the compound such that it can make long chains, and this formation of long chain is known as catenation. Forming long chains is known as catenation. So put the heading on this first paragraph, though the definition is also in the first line, that property of making unique ability of carbon to form the bonds with other atoms of carbon. Remember this thing, other atoms of carbon will be known as catenation, right? So other than that, carbon also linked by single, double or triple covalent bond. We have seen in the previous examples. So carbon dioxide was double bonded, right? We have just now, we have done ethylene example, that was triple bond, single covalent bond. In methane we have seen. So that's way it can combine with any other atom. And most of the compounds are very strong bonds. Why? We will discuss in the next topic. One give reason comes here, that is silicon is also belonging to the group 14 elements. Why I am saying group 15 elements?
Its valency is 4.
Because its valency is also 4, right? So if we talk of silicon, we are talking about carbon. Then if carbon is forming, carbon is showing catenation, so silicon must be also showing. Silicon को भी दिखाना चाहिए. Yes or no? Silicon should also form. Yes, silicon also forms. Silicon forms compounds with hydrogen and which have chains up to 7 or 8 atoms. Only up to 7 or 8 atoms. But these compounds are very reactive. Because they are very reactive, तो reactive होंगे तो क्या होगा? अपना bonding टूट जाएगा, आप इसकी bonding तोड़ देंगे, right? So silicon की catenation इतनी strong नहीं हो पाती. तो carbon carbon bond is very strong and very stable. Is it clear? And they are linked to the large number of the compounds in long chains. For example, I would give you one example here of the long chain of carbon. Do you know oils are made up of which formula? So we were discussing that many oils are having long chains till they have 15 atoms joined together, right? They have 31 atoms, carbon atoms joined together. So they have long chain of carbon with each other. This property is known as catenation, which is exhibited by carbon only, not by silicon even, which is lying in its own group, right? Next property is, that is tetravalency. Valency having 4 is known as tetravalency. That is the second point, that carbon shows tetravalency. That means it has valency of 4. So 4 is such number that it is easily able to form the compounds with any other element, which is having valency of 2. With that also it forms easily compound. single, that also it forms single compound. And if it is having 3, then also it is forming compound. For example, here also you can see nitrogen. With nitrogen, if it want to form a compound, what it will require to form the, how many covalent bond it will form? Triple, single or double?
Triple.
It will form triple bond, or we can say trivalent. Nitrogen is trivalent. Sulfur is what is the valency of sulfur?
2.
2. So it is known as divalent. If I ask you to give example of monovalent,
Ma'am, chlorine.
fluorine, hydrogen, they are both monovalent, right? So they are showing the monovalency. So it can make the compounds with any of these single, double, or triple covalent bond. Thus, it becomes the unique nature of it. And the last point, third point, which is not marked in the NCERT, that is also important. That is small size of the carbon atom. Carbon size is very small. Why? Because it has only 2 shells. K shell is there and L shell is there. So for sharing the electrons, who is responsible? Electrons present in the outermost shell, or who holds the, who pulls the electron towards it?
Ma'am,
Nucleus
nucleus.
or outermost electrons?
Ma'am, nucleus.
outermost
न्यूक्लियस. नो बेटा दिविजा, शेयरिंग आउटरमोस्ट इलेक्ट्रॉन्स की हो रही है, बट पुल करने में हेल्प कौन कर रहा है? न्यूक्लियस. तो
Nucleus.
जिसका साइज छोटा होगा वो इजीली पुल करेगा या नहीं?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
it will pull the electrons very quickly. Thus, carbon is able to form exceptionally large number of the compounds, and they are very strong also, because nucleus is able to hold them very strongly. Nucleus effectiveness increases. Remember, chapter 5 में भी हमने ये बात की थी. More number of shells, less nucleus effectiveness. Less number of shells, more nucleus effective. याद आई बात? ठीक है. So that's way it forms large number of compounds. Clear to everyone? Clear,
Yes,
ji?
ma'am.
ठीक है.
yes.
Bonds formed by elements having bigger atoms are much weaker.